everyone, this is Crafty Decoria and I hope you're all doing great. So today I will be making 3 very simple DIYs using the Dollar Tree wood pallets. I do have 2 different types here. The first is this one, which is pretty much flat. It has 4 pieces of wood going across and then there's 2 in the back holding them together. And then the second wood pallet is this one here that looks like an actual mini skid. So these again are very simple, but when I saw these, I just knew that I wanted to do something with them. So without further ado, let's jump into these 3 very simple, easy Dollar Tree tutorials. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so to begin the DIYs, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my pallets. And I want them in a brown, but I don't want a solid brown. I want it more like a washed brown. So I'm going to take my Dollar Tree burnt umber and its acrylic paint, and I'm going to water it down. So I'm going to start off with a 1:1 ratio, and if it's still too thick, I will water it down even more. I really just want more like a wash on these pallets. Now I will be keeping the same color scheme for all 3 of the DIYs, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint them all now. My wood pallets have dried. I've painted them on the front, the back, the sides, and a little bit on the insides as well. Some of the pallets are lighter, some are darker, some have a mixture of both on each pallet, and that's the way that I like them to look. So again, I will be making 3 DIYs. Starting with my first one, I'll be using these larger wooden pallets. I have 9 in total, and I will be making a pallet shelf. Okay, so now for constructing the shelf, it's super easy. I'm going to show you with 3 of the pallets. So this is my top, I've laid it flat. I take my second pallet and I glue it underneath the first pallet. And then I take my third pallet and then I butt it up against the second pallet. So this middle pallet is sandwiched in between the top and the bottom pallet. And once I have that glued together with my hot glue or E6000, depending on what you feel more comfortable using, I will continue in the same way until I've used up all my pallets. DIY number 2, I'm going to be using these wooden pallets, the skid looking pallets, and I'm going to be using these as coasters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stencil on a deer head, since I do have the deer head theme in my home. And if you have a printer, you could definitely print out an image. If you don't have a printer, you can hold a piece of paper up to your screen and just trace it. Or if you have a stencil already that is a deer head that's small enough to fit on the coaster, that'll work great. I'm just going to use the cover of this Jot notebook because I have used it up, and I do like the deer head that's on the cover. And also as a stencil, the material of this, being that it is a glossy like vinyl type, will work good as a stencil. So once I cut this out, I'll be able to use this over and over, which is great. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out, and then with my white acrylic paint, I will just stencil that onto each of the coasters. Now my deer head is just a little bit too big. It would have been fine if I was using the whole coaster, but this bottom portion here, I'm going to be painting in a chalk paint. So I'm just going to have to position my deer where it will fit the best, and then just dab some paint onto that and then let that dry. Moving on to DIY number 3. So for this one, I was going to use 3 of the wooden pallet skids, but I ended up deciding to use only 2. In total, I was only able to find 12. So I tried to do as many different DIYs as I could with them. So because I'm only using the 2, I have 1 left over, and I think I decided to do 1 extra DIY, just a simple little cute DIY that somebody might like. So I'll put this aside for DIY number 4. So for the third DIY, I have the 2 pallets. I have the sentimental box that says trick or treat. I have a silver wire LED light strand, a DIY ornament, and this is the thinner round bulb, ornament bulb. I have some black acrylic paint in which I will be painting this box. I have some decorative snow. This is by Decor from the Dollar Tree. And then I have the Dollar Tree alphabet letters, the self-adhesive letters, and that should be it. So let's jump into this tutorial. I hope you enjoy. So I thought I'd just explain all of this before I let the video play and you see me putting it together. My sentimental box is drying. I did give it 2 coats. Now I didn't mention it, but I will be adding some Mod Podge to that as well. This way it'll just seal it and protect it. With my 2 wooden pallets, I'm going to be spelling out the word joy. So with my self-adhesive stickers here, I'm going to take the J and the Y and place them on the wooden pallets. I also will Mod Podge those on as well, just again to seal and protect it. Now with the letter O, You can decide if this is something that you're going to make, whether you just want to leave the ornament ball, being that it is round. It's easy to figure out that the word is supposed to be joy, or you can go ahead and then take the letter O and then just, I'm gonna Mod Podge it to the front of this. Anyway, I just want to put it on there. So, but again, you don't have to, because you will be able to make out that it's supposed to say joy. Now with the ornament ball, I'm going to be filling the inside with the decorative snow, and I'm also going to add the LED light strand in there so it lights it up. I think it'll be really pretty at night. And the only other thing is I will be using my hot glue to glue on the wood pallets to the sentimental box, and then I will use the hot glue to glue the ornament ball in the center. I don't know if you could tell, but I was having trouble with the O staying down. So what I did was I just cut the O in half, placed one side down, the other side down, and it's absolutely fine now. So in case this is something you're gonna do and you're having troubles with your O, then just cut it in half and it'll work out great. Okay guys, so here is DIY number 1, my wood pallet shelf, and I couldn't be happier with how this turned out. I also think this would make a great alternative to a traditional wreath. I think it looks adorable on the door, especially the way that I decorated it here with all Dollar Tree items, the little gingerbread house, the bristle brush trees that they sell. You get 2 in a pack. This is the larger and this is the smaller one. So I placed the larger one on the top shelf as that's the only place it would fit, and then the smaller ones I just put on the shelves. And how adorable does that look? I think this would look great in any room. You could use it for organizing nail polishes, or just putting little decorative items on there. If you want to, you could put the letters. I originally was going to put, but I always can do that, I was going to put the Dollar Tree letters EAT and then maybe a salt and pepper shaker and have it closer to my kitchen. You know, there's so many different things that you can do with it, but I just think using it this way is just absolutely adorable. And if you do want to keep it on your door and you're worried about little ones opening and closing the door quickly, just put some double-sided Velcro at the bottom to keep it in place. But I've opened and closed the door and it really doesn't move. So I just think it looks really nice as a different option of, instead of placing a wreath, to hang this little shelf. And I actually think I may keep it here because I really like it. DIY number 2. Here are my coasters, and I absolutely love how these turned out. Now I did turn my deer heads on an angle just so that I would fit them on there better, but I really like how it turned out with them that way. I also like that at the very bottom I did put the chalkboard paint so that you could customize these to write a person's name, or if you want to write the months, the days, whatever. Here I just did something a little fun and put Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, and of course Rudolph there. And for his nose, I just cut a piece of the self-adhesive letters that I used, the alphabet letters. There was an extra piece, so I just cut a little circle and then I painted that red. And that is DIY number 2. Guys, I just wanted to share where I keep my coasters. This was a DIY that I made. I'll post the link in the description box below if you haven't seen it. So all 9 of them fit in here perfectly. I have them on an angle, but I think that they look really nice here, and they're perfect to sit on the coffee table. I just slid my lantern over and then I placed them on the side. I just love it when things fit. DIY number 3, and this one definitely brings joy to my heart. I absolutely love this piece. I only purchased 5 items to make this, and for that amount of money, this piece is a real bargain because it definitely does not look cheap, and it's great because it lights up, so you can enjoy it not only during the day but at night as well. I also love by adding that Mod Podge to the front of the ornament ball, it looks almost like it's frosted. So with the snow inside there and then the lights lighting it up, I just love the look. It feels so warm and cozy. And then in the back, of course, the battery pack is nicely glued onto the back. So when you want to lift this up and move it someplace else, it's very easy. Just pick it up in one hand and you're ready to move it around. I absolutely love this piece, and I hope you do as well. And DIY number 4, this was the extra bonus DIY that I ended up making, and I only had one, but it actually worked out okay for me. This is just a little cart island that I have in my kitchen. It's not very big. There's only one chair that sits here, and usually I use it in the morning to eat breakfast. So it worked out great for me. This is also the Dollar Tree snowflake dinnerware that they brought in this year, and I only ended up getting one setting, but again, it was perfect for me for this little spot. I tend to use just white on my table So I didn't want to buy a whole set, but it works out great for my little spot here. And so yes, I made a napkin ring holder. So using the 6-pack round silver napkin rings, I just glued it to the back of the wood pallet skid here. I did put some chalk on the bottom, so again you can personalize it. And then with the little slots in the wood pallet, that is where I placed my fork and my spoon. How adorable is that? This little project worked out better than I thought. Well guys, there's 4 projects that I use the Dollar Tree wooden pallets. I love every single one. They were so easy to make, and really they do not look cheap at all. They're very cute, very rustic and farmhouse looking. So I really hope that you enjoyed these 4 DIYs. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit longer, but I thought I'd just add all 4 in one since they're not very hard DIYs to make. Guys, I hope you liked it. If you did, please press the like button. Share the video if you can. It greatly helps my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did. As always, you take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.